Dr. Fred DiDomenico, Principal of Cash, and I'm bringing the patient management and communication system that can help you create so much value that the patient value for your care is far beyond insurance. We're living in a different world today. Like John Davila says, it used to be 80% insurance, 20% cash, and now we're 80% cash, 20% insurance or more. And what we really want to do is be able to meld the principle with the practice that helps you know to be your best, because chiropractic is a life purpose. It gives you a system that's predictable, because it's just a lot more fun when patients commit. You can help change their lives, and we get to make a bigger impact in our community, and actually today the opportunity to do that beyond and around the world. So why me? You may be asking that question. Well, I practiced for 14 years. I had 4 practices. They were 500, 700 a week. And although I had confidence in patient commitment, the thing that tormented me was the person that walked out and you didn't know why. And what you find is many times it's the patients that need you the most that are actually the ones that walk out. And what I found is people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. And if we don't know how to deal with that person to find out what is most valuable to them, then in spite of all the information, in spite of how much logic or how much sense it makes, have you ever had a patient say, "Doc, that makes sense and I have to think about it. Doc, that makes sense, what's my insurance cover?" Because what happened is they know they need it, but we didn't know how to find what they want. So when I found that in practice, I began to get professional communication training, because after a handful of management groups, I found the chiropractic taught me how to talk about a subluxation on an x-ray rather than talking to the person with the subluxation. And so there's a big difference. Rather than talking about the information, and maybe we get so excited about it, they buy who we are, but rather being able to talk to that person and what they value most. Because a CEO has far different values than a stay-at-home mother at 4. If you're giving a similar report of findings to both, then either one may commit or neither will commit. And so in the profession, what I also found is we know people buy with emotion and justify with fact. And there's several people around the profession that teach, "Ms. Jones, how is your pain affecting your life?" The problem is, after 18 years of study on human behavior, studying life coaching, studying NLP, studying research on human behavior, including studies from Harvard and Stanford, and 30 years in chiropractic studying human behavior, that I found those facts really don't matter. And what matters is, and this comes straight out of what the highest influencers in the world are doing, is people by identity. Who are they becoming? What are their values? Who are they becoming with a subluxated life emotionally? Then who can they become living an unsubluxated life? So we have great influencers around the world: Tony Robbins, Brandon Bouchard, Dean Graziosi, all these people that create life coaching businesses, in a sense, that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You have Apple Computer. Apple is the most profitable corporation in the world. What are these cultures doing that are moving millions of people? And all I said was, let's study what the top leaders in the world are doing. So when I took all that research, 30 years in chiropractic, 18 years of professional training, and applied it into a patient management and communication system, what we found was that you have a 70 to 84% in a bell curve. 70 to 84% will commit to full corrective care. 78 to 86% will commit to lifetime care. What if you had the confidence and the ability in your communication management system where you absolutely knew 8 out of 10 would commit to care and 8 out of 10 would move into lifetime? This program is not about success. Many of you are already very successful. This is about fulfilling a purpose, because you became a chiropractor to be your best. You want a system that's predictable. You love humanity and you think everybody deserves chiropractic. And it's just a lot more fun when you get those results. So we see that consistently with people that have been involved in this system. The problem is, when we talk about a subluxation, we may be fired up about it, we may communicate the principle, but what's been our strategy? We hope they commit. And if we make enough of a connection, hope has been a strategy. And I think with a subluxated person, I know that you'll agree that hope just isn't enough. We want something that's far more predictable. So we're bringing you this program with a system of communication that creates value. Now let me cite this. Gallup did a study in 2015. 14% of Americans go to chiropractors. 122 years, we have 14%. 70% think it's about neck and back pain. That means 4.2% after 120 years. That means the average patient, 7 out of 10 of your new patients are coming in with the mindset of pain relief. Are we going to continue to talk about pain? Or can we help them focus on something bigger, who they're becoming subluxated in their overall health? So I'm going to give you 2 quick tips. This will create massive value because value is perceived. And the perception of value is different for every person. So when we teach you, there's a limited amount of personality types. And with those personality types, they have very specific values. And human behavior has patterns. When we show you these patterns, you can help identify these patterns with the person standing in front of you, and you learn how to talk their language. The probability that you're going to build a deeper relationship and help them want to change their life is exponentially increased. So would you like to have that power and confidence? So I'm going to give you 2 tips now. Some of these may sound familiar, but it's how you do it differently. So number 1, we address their pain, and then we focus on the organ problems that are related to that area of the spine. Now in another video, I'm going to show you 5 steps. How many steps? 5 steps that you can take people through that will lead to 80% commitment. Number 1, we need to get to an overall health impression. Now I know that you're probably already talking about organs, but here's the key. The condition doesn't cause commitment. How they feel about the condition causes change. So how can we turn facts into emotion? And that's really what it is. So a great question, when a person has asthma their whole life and they've never felt like their body's been strong, that's what I'd say. So Ms. Jones, you've never felt like you've had a strong, healthy body. The taking full breaths, what would that feel like? How have you felt about yourself with asthma? And that's a limited perspective. Well, it's been depressing. I haven't felt like I'm as good as everybody else. That's why they would commit. So it's not about the condition, because you can say, Ms. Jones, the upper thoracic spine, when that's subluxated can cause asthma. It's not about the fact. Fact has 20% influence. The emotion has over 80% influence. So it's how do they feel about the organ problems? If you just ask that question, that's number 1 tip. Number 2 tip right here, pain ignites change. Studies on human behavior mean pain initiates change. That's why back pain patients don't make long-term commitments. Now, when you look at the principle and what you're actually doing, let me interrupt myself. If you look, there's one statistic that tells if you're fulfilling your purpose. It's your PVA, patient visit average. That's how many people you see a week divided by how many new patients. Our goal is to get you to 80 plus. If you're at 40, if you're at 30, if you're at 20, those are people that are starting care and then they're quitting. If your purpose is lifetime, we have a system that can get you to 80 plus. Pain only ignites change. So when they're buying their overall health on how they feel about their overall health, that only moves them into the program. Pleasure makes change permanent. So once a person is in your program, all the systems afterward are about building inspiration. How does Tony Robbins get 8,000 people to walk across 2,000 degree colds? I asked myself that question, and only 30 people get blisters. They don't even really burn their feet. So everybody has the power inside themselves to change their life. There's a formula and a system and a method that can get you to 80% of those making long-term change. How many times has a person wanted to quit and you said, if you quit, you're gonna lose a result? That's pain. Has anybody ever continued care based on pain? That's not human behavior. So we have systems that we're gonna show you on how to use pleasure, how to use rewards, how to use inspiration that can find that empowered resource within people that will create so much value that they want to stay for a lifetime. Isn't that your purpose? So calculate your PVA, and that will tell you how long are people paying you. Because your purpose is in cash. No insurance company is going to cover lifetime care. So if that's what you want to do and you want to learn some of these tips, not only watch on the other videos, but check the link below, click on the link below, and you're going to get more information on how to create so much value that you have our promise and our guarantee you're going to create more lifetime patients, fulfill your purpose better, and the result is you'll have more cash coming over your front desk because that represents more lives that you're changing.